Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. Yo, it's colder than usual this morning, you guys. I went outside just a few minutes ago. It is colder than usual. So, I'll text the boss and see if what kind of tickets she really got on deck, because I'm not gonna walk in this coldness. There's nothing for me today. See, Monday and Tuesdays are our slowest days. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is when shit usually picks up. So I'm just gonna text her real quick after I get off from talking with you guys this morning. So shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. This is your home girl, Arabia Barbosa. 914, which is the county of New York. The BT 1000, aka the Jeeper Creeper on this shit, aka Lucy the Vampire, aka the German Shepherd in the goddamn room, aka Hands Like a Hebrew Slave. Yo, anything that people tossed at me to try to break me down or make me look bad, guess what? I'm going to use that to the benefit of me. See, nobody's gonna get away with trying to insult me or try to break me down or try to talk bad about me or disparage me or discourage me. Whatever they throw at me, I use for my own benefit. Even if I have to translate those words into a Spanish phrase or to a Swahili phrase or to Hebrew itself. It's only a few words. Shout out to the chat. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never, ever, ever, ever motherfucker me. So shout out to the chat. Yo, I wanna I wanna say once again to Lonnie and Tamika, when you guys had hit my link yesterday, that was so powerful. That was so beautiful. That was so fucking awesome. It was. And I don't know if anyone knows that song that woman sings, Lost on You. When she hits those high notes, when she had hit the high note in that song, that's how I felt. But I just couldn't convey that because I don't have the talent that that woman has. I don't have that singing talent that that woman has, but she summed it up in that high pitched note. And I shared it in a short video. And it has Lonnie's name in it and Tamika's name in it. So shout out to those two women. Shout out to those two women on these YouTube streets. And sometimes you realize when people are, I guess, when they're going through things and stuff like that, everything always works itself out. Everything works itself out. Now, I was looking at the fact that that woman wrote that song. The song is called Lost on You. It was written by that young woman, LP. LP. She wrote the song. She wrote the song a year before she and her significant other had broken up. The relationship that they were in was very powerful. It was very fast. It was very intense. and it lasted for quite some time. And the relationship ended up breaking down because there was some situations in their relationship. They ended up breaking up a year after she wrote this song. But if you listen to the words of that song, if you listen to how she whistles, how she does the high notes, and when she hits the highest notes of that song, the climax of that song, doesn't it sound like a soul wailing? If you listen close, it sounds almost like wind blowing real hard. That's what's going on out here this morning. Shout out to the chat. That's what's going on outside this door this morning. That's why I got a call to make sure homegirl got some tickets. You know, if she ain't got nothing going on, because Mondays and Tuesdays are our slowest days. So she probably gonna tell me, Ray, don't even worry about it. Just worry about it on tomorrow morning. Worry about it tomorrow morning, Thursday and Friday. So shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Yo, when I was listening to that song this morning, only thing I could think about is how I felt. How I felt when both of the women had hit my length. First, it was Tamika. She came up. Then it was Lonnie. Lonnie did her reaction on it last night. You know what I mean? She did the reaction. And she said she didn't even speak to me. She was just rude and she just went in and she wanted to talk to Tamika. And it's perfectly understandable. It's understandable. These two women, they had been friends for years. You know what I mean? Friends for years. So of course, there was going to be some misunderstandings when they had, you know, got into that little riff or that misunderstanding. I call it a misunderstanding, a miscommunication. You know what I mean? And I was so glad they was able to clear everything up yesterday. I was so glad they was able to clear everything up yesterday. And I don't mean no harm, but you know, Moonlight inspires me because I'm gonna tell you something. She was like, Arabia, I don't know, but and she told me when she like not yet like last night when she was live, but it was the live before that. And she was like, "Oh, Arabia, you need to drop your link more. You need to drop your link more." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that sounds like a good idea." So that's what I might end up doing is dropping my link more so more people can have a chance to come over and talk their ish. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's my channel that be neutral ground for everyone else. But what happened yesterday was total magic. It was total wonderful. It was totally beautiful. It was totally awesome. It was totally amazing. And I was blown away. I was blown away. And just like I said before I ended that video, I said, I bet you ain't nobody gonna do a reaction on what happened in this video. You know why? Because number one, it's two women getting along, and number two, it was something that was positive. There was a positive outcome. It was a very, very powerful outcome. It was a beautiful outcome and it was positive. It wasn't on negativity. It wasn't on negativity. And most of the people that come into my chat, when they come in, they speak to me, they speak with one another, they socialize, they mix and mingle in the chat. they be having a good time. They be having a darn good time. You know what I mean? And maybe that's what people need. People just need to come into the chat, see who's in there. If y'all vibe, y'all get along, and just mix and mingle. Just talk amongst each other. You know what I mean? Cause I plan on making my channel, like my chat, a safe place. You know what I mean? That's what I plan on doing. If I can do it. If I can get away with doing it. Cause I've noticed that some YouTubers, when they do that, they start out like that and then it turns into a matrix or it turns into a EJ joint. You know what I mean? Not saying anything negative about any of those YouTube creators that had those channels or have those channels, but there's a lot of problems with those channels. You know what I mean? People able to talk and argue with each other, but what about communication? What about clear conversation? What about honesty? Not no bullshit to get friends on your side and to get people to like you or get people to respect you. Why not choose the pathway of real time conversation? You know what I mean? That would be better. That would be more beneficial than having a beef channel or having a reaction channel. Because this is not a reaction channel. This is just an ordinary YouTube channel. Shout out to the chat. I'm your host. Or should I say, I'm not your host, I'm your home girl. That's how my intro usually is. This is your home girl, Arabia Barbosa. Not your host, because that sounds like I'm running the show. Hell no. This is my house. This is my chat. This is my time. This is my channel. This is my platform. This is my page. Shout out to the chat. Everyone is welcome over here. Anytime I drop my link, everyone is welcome to hit the link. If you have something to say, you know what I mean? Because we got a lot of people who are very powerful in their speaking and who seems to move a room better than people that are honest and transparent. See, I like people that are transparent. That's why I myself all the time. That's why I talk about my life. That's why I share. Like if I'm out the door, or if I'm going somewhere, or if I'm experiencing something, you guys know about it. You guys know about it. Hey Bishop, at Schoolful, good morning. Mika, good morning. Shout out to y'all. I'm sorry I didn't see you right there. I was a little passionate. My eyes were closed. My eyes were closed. I was trying to see the glory of the conversation of yesterday. Yeah, Tamika and Lonnie had hit my link and they was able to have a good old conversation. And it was so beautiful because they were so honest with each other, and Tamika was trying to talk and Lonnie was trying to talk, and then Lonnie had stopped herself and she said, "Wait a minute, I don't want to overtalk you, so let me just listen. Let me just chill out and listen." And then Tamika got up there and she said what she needed to say. Then Lonnie responded, and then they was able to have a camaraderie. They was able to have a conversation. And that takes a lot of heart, that takes a lot of courage, that takes a lot of spirit, that takes a lot. That takes a lot to do on a public stage, on a public stage where the whole world could hear them. The whole world. And I appreciate both of these women. I mean, I was so moved. I mean, I got emotional because I knew that they had been friends for so long on the app and they had a good relationship, a talking relationship. They, very good to each other. And believe it or not, a lot of people were glad when they fell out, when there was a miscommunication. But they was able to talk with each other and be an adult about it. They wasn't screaming at each other. They wasn't cursing. They told like if one hurt the other one feeling, they were able to say, "Hey, look, you had hurt my feelings." That is something powerful. When someone can actually open up their mouth and say, "Look, you made me feel this way," or "Look, you had hurt my feelings," or "Look, I felt that I wasn't being heard." That's real. I get emotional just thinking about it. But I was happy that they was able to come together, you know? And that's important to me. If nothing else don't happen good in my life, that is important to me. Especially a lot of you young ladies, you women in this sector. The men too, but I'm mostly focused on the women because I am a woman. You know. I don't care if I do look like somebody, an uncle. Tamika, good morning. Yeah, Tamika, y'all had me wanting to scream like that lady in that song. If you ever listen to it, before she ends the song, there's a high pitch that she does. It fits right into the song. It sounds like the soul howling. That's what it sounds like. And when y'all did what y'all did, man, I was like, this is awesome. This is awesome. I mean, I know I clowned and clapped my hands and saying they got us on video, but I really mean that shit. Y'all did the thing. And I was so moved because it was so honest and so raw. And I was like, wow, that's what needs to happen in the sector. You know? She talked about you talked about her, then y'all was able to come together. See how that works? It was awesome. Good morning, VA. Yo, shout out to the chat. So we got VAs in the chat. We got Tamika. We got Mika. We have the Bishop. Bishop is in the building. I don't know if he's still here. You know. So everyone have an awesome morning. Have an awesome day. Be safe out there. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. It is what it is. Let me get on this horn and call this lady. Let me get on this horn and just text her or something. And then I don't know what to do for today because I was out there earlier. I said, "Oh my goodness." Just taking out, just doing something regular for the house, like just simply like, okay, let's say you're taking out the trash and you're out there for a few minutes because the trash can is far away from the house. So you got to walk a distance to get to the trash can you're getting to. Because somebody stole my trash can. Yeah. I didn't even know that this house had a trash can until Birdman had came to my house one day and he said, "You know what, Arabia? Everyone else has a trash can. I'm got God, goddamn. I'm gonna find yours." He went down the street. He found it at another address. He said, "Oh my goodness, I gotta get this trash can." And the people had came outside and they was like, "Hey, that's our trash." He said, "No, this is my homegirl trash can. It says 18 and 24." And and that was it. He brought it back to the house. He said, "Now you gotta keep it over here. You gotta keep an eye on the trash can because people like to steal your cans." Sure enough, the neighbors next door stole the cans. But then when they moved, I saw the can and I said maybe I should put it closer to the house. But I said fuck it, just let that be on the street. I won't be here much longer. I'm gonna end up moving. You know what I mean? Cause after this finasco with this landlord, I just don't appreciate slumlords. I do not appreciate slumlords. I don't. I don't. You know what I mean? Word. I don't. And it might be time for me to move. I've been here since March, since the end of March of 2022. I've been here a while. I've been here a while. This is what? 2025. So I've been here for quite some time, a couple of years. And it might be time for me to move, you know? I really want to move downtown, you guys. No word a lie. I want to move downtown. I do not care if it's in a rundown, dilapidated house. I do not care about that. You know what I mean? Because if I'm on the upstairs floor anyway, it's not going to make much difference to me anyway. I want to move downtown because that's where all the stores are at. It's close by. It's close by. I mean, I live close by to a store right now, but I don't want to move somewhere. And in order to get to the store, I got to walk 20 miles, no, not 20 miles, but 20 minutes or 15 minutes or 30 minutes or 40 minutes. I think that's stupid. I think that's stupid. And I'm a New Yorker, so we're used to just going right across the street to the goddamn store, or we're used to going in an area, living in an area where there's more than one store. There's one store in the corner. There's another store up on your left. They don't open to 10 o'clock in the morning. So you go to the next one. That's open at 6 o'clock in the morning. You go to the next one. They open up at 7 o'clock in the morning. But the first one that's on the corner, because used to live on Saratoga, off of Saratoga and Lawrence Street in Yonkers, New York. And there was this one store on the corner right there on Lawrence Street. And what I used to do, I used to walk from my house because that store used to open up 5:30 in the morning. So I would walk from my house. It was just right down the street. I lived on a little hill. Walk down to the end of the hill. Keep going until you get to the store. It sits right there on the corner. Go in there, buy my cup of coffee, which was 50 cents. Cup of coffee for me in New York is 50 cents sometimes. Shout out to the chat. It depends on where you go. Down here, they want you to pay for a big tall cup. You're paying almost $2 for the shit. You know what I mean? You don't know if they changed out everything the day before. But these dudes that work across the street, they from New York too. You know what I mean? So when you go in there, it's set up. It's set up just like the way the stores in New York is set up, but it's more airy. It's more space. People can actually walk up and down the aisle. Like a lot of the bodegas, like when you go to New York, yo, I'm just like, yo, oh my god, I'm thinking about this store, and all the bodegas seem the same way. All of them seem to be set up the same way. You go in the bodega, it's got an ATM in it. Okay, that's the first thing you see. The ATM, when you walk into the store, it's usually going to be on your left hand side. Then after that, you might have a counter where they keep the coffee pot, the coffee cups, the sugar, and the creamer. Okay, you move further down, then you got all the different aisles where they sell the little items for high price or whatever. They got their snacks, they got their chips, they got bread for you, they got stuff for your cat, X, Y, and Z, like little stuff that you might need right quick. You know what I mean? Then you go to the back of the store. That's where your deli is at. You might want them to make you a sandwich, or you might want them to make you a breakfast plate. Either way it go, you got to go to the back. Okay? Then you come back up. You come back up to where the cash register is at. Usually they are encased in some kind of plastic. Usually the person running the register is encased in some kind of plastic. You know what I mean? It's like a little plastic room they're in. Then you go up to the counter, you be like, okay, X, Y, and Z. You exchange your money for your merchandise, then you leave. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. So I'm just giving you a rundown of what New York is like. That's what I'm doing. I'm giving you a rundown. So when I think about New York, sometimes I be like, oh. And I'll put on that song, Lost on You. Oh. I be in here crying. As I gotten older. And I started noticing when I was started becoming more emotional about things. And I realized all that starting when I was in my 40s. All that, when I hear certain things, I get teary eyed. You won't see me crying, but I be trying to hold my breath so you can't hear. I be embarrassed, but I'm a woman, right? I'm supposed to be emotional, but not all the time. And then as I think about it, I'm going through menopause. I'm going through menopause. Of course, my own shit is everything. I was wondering the other night when I was trying to read the chat, someone else's chat. My eyes was all blurry. So what the hell's going on? Sometimes my eyes be dry. Sometimes they be moist. I be wiping my eyes. I be like, what the hell is going on? And then somebody say, girl, those are symptoms of menopause. You ain't get the memo. I've been stopped ministrating. I've been stopped ministrating over a year ago. I could actually remember my last ministration that I had. And it was a day I was at Birdman House. And it for some reason it had just popped on. I was like, what's going on? You know what I mean? So I'm thinking, oh, I gotta go to the store, I gotta buy the stuff. So I buy me a box And to tell the truth, ladies and gentlemen, that box is still in this goddamn house. That's how long I've had that box. And I refuse to get rid of it. I refuse to get rid of it because I don't know when that shit might happen again. Nobody wants to walk down the street with blood on their pants. Come on, ladies. Nobody wants to walk down the anyway. Anyway, I gotta get out of here. I want to thank everyone for coming in. We out. Good morning to everyone. Good morning. Good morning. For those of you that are here, thank you for coming. I see most of you are not here, but you'll catch the replay. Someone else must be live. All right. Shout out to the chat. I'm out of here. Peace.